Hello, comic book fans. This is Blue Goblin. Welcome to part 2 of my comic book blog for the week of October 22nd, 2008. I'm sorry it took me so long to put this part out. My computer's been acting weird as of late. Let's review 6 more books that came out this week, and I hope you agree with my opinions, whether they be good or bad. Let's start with a book that I can't get enough of. Let's talk about X Factor. X Factor number 36, Peter David's writing. Just incredible, just beautifully done. The progression of the story is getting better and better the more I read it. The whole trouble with Darwin, Siren, the multiple man, well, you call him Madrix. He's got problems with his dupes right now, and this is just an incredibly well done comic book by Peter David. However, there's only one bad thing about it, and I think you know what I'm going to say. Larry Stroman's artwork. Are you kidding me? Larry Stroman, I don't mean to insult you personally. I'm just going to insult your artwork. A 5-year-old could draw better than this. This artwork is perhaps the worst artwork I've ever seen in a comic book. Oh my God, I could draw a comic book better than this. Other than that, the writing, the well-done story, is well worth putting up with crappy art. I still recommend it, even though the artwork sucks. Now, let's talk about Miss Danvers herself. We got Ms.Marvel number 32. This was a book. This was a series that I picked up when Secret Invasion tie-in started running with this title, and I do not regret picking up the Secret Invasion tie-ins with Ms. Marvel. However, once the tie-ins were done, the book suffered for it, and the last issue, issue 31, was very, very dull, very droll. Nothing really happened in it at all. This was exactly the opposite. This is the beginning of the Secret Agent Danvers storyline. Very nicely done. Once again, let's see, Brian Reed, of course. He's never made a mistake, has he? Bullshit! But other than what you caught in part 1 of my blog, where Brian Reed wrote a certain other title and it wasn't so good, this is the title that you should pick up from Brian Reed's writing. It's very nicely done. Carol's testing out a new plane for Tony Stark. It crashes. She gets captured by terrorists, and they just torture the hell out of her. It's nicely done. Carol shows me just what a tough bitch she really is. I thoroughly enjoyed this issue, and I'm glad I didn't drop it because of issue 31's dullness. Very nice. Now get ready for hell to freeze over. Let's talk about X-Men Legacy. X-Men Legacy number 217. This series has not been impressing me at all. Mike Carey, what are you thinking? Now let's talk about hell freezing over. This issue wasn't actually that bad. Did I say that? Did I say it? Yeah, I said that. I said that, didn't I? Oh my God. I can't believe I said that shit. This series, this issue wasn't that bad? Yep, I said that. This is part 2 of Original Sin. Part 1 was from the X-Men Original Sin one-shot. This story is mainly Wolverine and his son Dakin. Very nicely done. I was pretty impressed by how this went. And part 3 is going to be in the next issue of Wolverine Origins, and you can bet I'm going to be checking that out. This should be an interesting storyline. The first time I actually got excited about reading an issue of X-Men Legacy, for God's sake. I was really shocked. I finally got shocked. I finally got shocked. An issue of X-Men Legacy wasn't actually that bad. Huh? Go figure. Go ahead and check it out. It's not that bad. Then again, it's not perfect, but still a good read. Let's talk about the green guy or the red guy, whichever guy you want to look at. We got Hulk number 7. This was the first issue that actually kind of disappointed me. We got not one story, we got 2 stories split in this issue. The first half of the split deals with, this is a false advertisement. Green Hulk is not in this book. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I will say this. Joe Fix-It. That's all I'm going to say. Wendigo. That's all I'm going to say, too. The Red Hulk story was incredibly short, in my opinion, but nicely done. And it explains how the Lady Liberators got together when you want to read this week's issue of She-Hulk. If you want to know how the group in She-Hulk got together, then read this issue. This explains how it happened. Of course, She-Hulk number 34 will gladly tell you that, but I'm going to tell you as well. This wasn't actually that bad. This is perhaps the worst issue of the Hulk that's been out since issue 1 so far, but it's still an interesting series to keep on to. The Red Hulk's not down. He's been down, but he's not out, and you can bet there's going to be one hell of a fight between the Hulks again in the future, and it kind of makes you wonder, just who the hell is the Red Hulk? I still want to know. Marvel, you're killing me with dragging this mystery out. It's going to get to the point where you might lose some fans because they're going to forget, and they're going to forget about this mystery, and they're not going to care anymore. So please, don't dawdle it on any longer. Let us know who the Red Hulk is before this century's up. Okay. Now let's talk about the Thunderbolts, issue 125, another Secret Invasion tie-in. The Thunderbolts, you know, I'm reading this series because the Green Goblin's my favorite villain. Without question, other than the Joker, but that's DC. We're talking about Marvel here, people. The Green Goblin, even though it's Norman Osborn, doesn't actually become the Green Goblin in this issue. He hasn't been the Green Goblin in hardly any of these issues as of late. But Norman's just showing what a prick he is, just to ham it up for the camera. He doesn't care what he's got to do in order to help his image, and that's a plus. I love this series. I truly, truly regret that this was a series I didn't get into since issue 1. I do regret saying that, and hopefully my progression into the series will make up for that tragic mistake. This was a good read. I think the battles in this issue take place around the time of Secret Invasion issue 6, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, go ahead and post a comment down there and let me know. I would love to be corrected, but politely, please. This was a good one. This was a good one. Finally, let's talk about Wolverine Manifest Destiny number 1. This was all right. This was pretty interesting read. Very nicely done. Wolverine once again. This is another one of those basic Wolverine issues where Wolverine's wanting to atone for stuff he did in the past. Of course, there's people out to kill him because of what he did in the past, and apparently something he did 50 years ago. What it is, I still don't know. He killed some guy. I don't want to try and pronounce his name because I don't want to sound too much like a fool. But a bit of a surprise on the last page. I'd love to see where they're leading with this. It's very nicely done. This is an issue that I'm glad I picked up, and this is going to be a 4-part miniseries that I'm going to be widely interested in. I recommend you read Wolverine Manifest Destiny. Well, thanks for sticking around for part 2, and I hope you enjoyed it. So until my next video, later.